Have you ever wanted to make fondant but you didn't want the taste? Well, let's make some marshmallow fondant. It's delicious, it's quick, it's easy, and it's pretty reasonable. So welcome to Adornment with Adrienne. Okay, Adorners, so I have a greased bowl and I'm going to add some marshmallows. And eventually we're going to add in some confectioner sugar, and I am going to make a marshmallow fondant. Some people like fondant on cakes and cookies and things like that, but they like the way it looks, but they don't like the way it tastes. So I am going to be using, like I said, this is actually a 10-ounce bag of marshmallows and 2 tablespoons of water, and I'm going to melt my marshmallows and stir on 30-second increments for about 2 minutes. And then we are going to add our confectioner sugar, and we're going to roll it out just like we would do with our cookies. All right. Okay, Adorners, so I'm going to go ahead and add our marshmallows. These are actually jumbo marshmallows to our bowl. Got one more. Shake, shake, shake. All right, and we're going to add 2 tablespoons of water to this, and I'm going to put it in the microwave and microwave it on 30-second increments for about 2 minutes to melt it down. And then we will add our confectioner sugar. Okay, Adorners, so I've added in my 2 tablespoons of water. I'm going to microwave my marshmallows in 30-second increments for 2 minutes. All right. Okay, Adorners, so we have one more 30-second increment to do. And let me just show you, we've melted our marshmallows down, and I'm going to put it in for 30 seconds more, and then I'm going to add 4 cups of confectioner sugar. Okay, Adorners, so we've gone ahead and melted our marshmallows, you can see here. And now it's time to add in our 4 cups of confectioner sugar. Okay, so I've added in 3 cups of confectioner sugar, and we have 1 more to go. All right, and let's mix sugar. And as you can see, let's see, I have my fondant mixture ready to incorporate, and then I am going to add a little confectioner sugar to my cutting board, and I'm going to roll out my marshmallow fondant, and I'm going to actually put a little bit of confectioner sugar on the cutting board, and then I am going to add just a little bit of Crisco to my hands so I can handle the fondant without it sticking. Okay, let's do that. Okay, Adorners, so I've added some confectioner sugar to my cutting board, and I'm going to go ahead and scoop my fondant out onto the board, onto the confectioner sugar. Smells good though, huh? Okay, Adorners, so I'm going to add just a little bit of this Crisco to my fingertips, and that way I can work with our marshmallow fondant without it sticking all over my hands. Okay, so I'm going to knead this a little bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, you can see it shaping up nicely. Okay, Adorners, so you can see our fondant, it looks really beautiful. All right, I just washed my hands again, so I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit more of my Crisco to my hands, just to make sure I have kind of floured my rolling pin with my confectioner sugar. I rolled out my fondant just a bit, okay, and I've added confectioner sugar on the top and the bottom here of the cutting board, and I am going to just slide this around. Okay, remember this is sticky. So I have my rolling pin, as I said, it has confectioner sugar, and I want to just figure out what thickness I want this. Okay, Adorners, so you can see my fondant here, it's beautiful. All right, and I have added just a little bit more Crisco to my hands. I've added confectioner sugar on the top and the bottom. I'm going to cut it into 3 parts because I want to color it into 3 different colors, red, white, and blue. Okay, Adorners, so I have my fondant into 3 parts, and I'm going to add part 1 into a bowl. You could put some more Crisco on it if you'd like. I'm just going to put a little bit of confectioner sugar in the bottom of the bowl, and then I'm going to add, all right, my fondant, kind of mix it with my hands. Remember, I have a little Crisco on it, and I'm going to add some color to this and roll it out. And I have one more that I'm going to actually make red. All right. that I've already cut here. And I'm going to make this one red, the little food coloring. I am going to, see our fondant? I am going to actually make this one. Let me make sure I put in just a little bit of confectioner sugar in the bottom. And I am going to make this one red. And it goes. All right. Okay, Adorners, so I'm going to start with about 4 drops of food coloring in the middle of each fondant. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my red. And I'm going to do the same thing for my blue. 1, that was probably 2, 3, 4. Okay, Adorners, so I started out with 4 drops of blue. I'm going to add a little bit more. As you can see, it's starting to, I have a little Crisco on my hands actually. You can see it's very malleable, and you can see the coloring starting to incorporate. I'm going to go ahead and add probably 3 or 4 more drops because I want a darker blue. And we're going to roll this out. Let it set up for a minute while we do our red. Don't forget to have some confectioner sugar down. Okay, Adorners, so I've gone ahead and added, you can see, some red to my marshmallow fondant. This is water-based. If you have gel food coloring, I would suggest that you use that. Okay, and as you let this sit, it's going to get darker. Okay, we also have our blue. It's kind of looking a little bit turquoise right now. But as I said, let's see, if you let it sit, going to get a little darker. Okay, all right, so I'm going to roll these out and cut this out with our cookie cutters, and I'm going to show you. I'm just going to add a little water and then I'm going to place it on top of our cookies. Okay, Adorners, so we have our red fondant and our blue fondant, then I still have my white, and I'm just going to roll this out just a little bit so you can see, and I'm going to put it on a cookie and I'm going to call it a night. Okay, Adorners, so you can see I have one of my star cookies on a blue and white stick, and I'm going to cut out some of our white fondant, and I am going to just brush a little water and add it to the top of my cookie. Okay, Adorners, so I have one of my star cookies, as I said, and I'm just going to brush it with a little bit of water. I have a little brush, pastry brush. Brush it with a little bit of water. And I am going to take my cutout that I have here and place it on my star. Let's get its placement here. Place it on my star. Okay, as you can see. So you can see our cookie. All right, this is just one. Okay, Adorners, so as you can see, I've added some white fondant, marshmallow fondant, to one of our cookies on a stick. I may add some gold dust to this, I'm not sure. But as you can see, and I'm going to do the same thing for those with the red fondant and the blue. All right, let's stop here. I love marshmallow fondant. Thank you for joining me again with Adorning with Adrienne. See you in the next video. Saying hello for another time.